anybody that's willing to listen to me. Today's yoga practice is going to be all about the heart. So let's get into some love. I want you to start by sitting on your heels like this. And if that feels super uncomfortable, you can grab a pillow or a bolster if you got one. You can put it between your heels and your butt. And if not, you can always just sit cross-legged. All right, so we're going to start today by being brave and being wide open and being vulnerable. So you're going to literally tie your own hands behind your back. So grab opposite elbows behind the back, and then notice how your ribs kind of just want to like fall forward, and then see if you can kind of reverse that. Pull your ribs backwards. And then sit up as tall as you can, keep your chin held high, and then soften your gaze or close your eyes, and then take a big breath into your wide open heart. And then make an audible sigh out of the mouth. Take another big breath in, lift the heart a little bit higher, but let the tail be a little bit heavier. And then exhale out of the mouth. Just one more big breath, go a lot slower. Big inhale. When you think you're full, sip in a little bit more air. And then hold the breath. And then feel into this gesture. It took work to get into this, right? And it's the same principle with feeling and extending love. It's work. But that's what makes it so powerful. Exhale. So I want you to work your mind. Release your hands. Find the index and middle finger of your right hand like a peace sign. And then bring that to your third eye. Separate the thumb and the ring finger from one another. And then I want you to plug your right nostril and then take a big inhale through your left nostril. This is Nadi Shodhana breath, brain balancing breath. And then I want you to plug your left nostril with your ring finger, exhale out of the right. And then take a big breath into the right. And then simply switch on your exhale. Now just notice the sensation of breathing through one nostril. Inhale into the left. Imagine you're filling up your right hemisphere of the brain. Switch nostrils. Exhale out of the right. Feel like you're draining the left hemisphere. Breathe into the right nostril. Fill up the left hemisphere. Switch sides. Exhale out of the left. Drain the right hemisphere. Now we're going to take a mantra with this. Take a big inhale through the left nostril, and then think the words, "I'm sorry." Switch sides. Exhale out of the right. Think the words, "Please forgive me." Inhale through the right nostril. Think the words, "Thank you." Switch nostrils. Exhale, "I love you." Again, left nostril. "I'm sorry." Switch sides. "Please forgive me." Inhale, "Thank you." Switch sides. "I love you." Now get specific with it. I'm sorry. For what? To whom? Could be you. Switch sides. Same intention. Please forgive me. Inhale. Thank you. Try and really feel the gratitude. Switch. I love you. Two more rounds with as much meaning, with as much intent as you can. I'm sorry. Switch. Please forgive me. day. Thank you. Switch. I love you. Last round. I'm sorry. Switch. Please forgive me. Thank you. Switch. I love you. Lay both of your hands on your heart. Take a big breath into the chest, lifting it up towards the sky. When you think you're full, make a little bit more space physically in the heart, emotionally in the heart. See if you can find an allowance for whatever happens during this practice. And remember, it's a skill, cultivating allowance. And then keep your heart high as you exhale, release any heaviness of the heart. Reach your arms up high, come up to kneeling. And then cactus your arms, flex your sides, squeeze. And then softly, carefully tilt your elbows up and forward, your wrists back and down, but don't let your ribs shoot up. Now just start to lean back. Send your pelvis forward a little bit more. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the rib cage up a little bit higher. Find one more big breath, filling up from your knees to your head. And then as you exhale, you're going to grab opposite elbows behind your back again, like we did at the beginning, and then slowly sit back down. See if you can switch the forearm that's pressing into your low back, if you can remember. And then take a big inhale and arch your back. And then keep your hands, exhale, round your back, chin into chest, squeeze your belly. Close your eyes, keep doing this. Inhale, think cow pose. And exhale, think cat pose. And then feel into the tightness in your shoulders. Allow it to exist. Find a big inhale. Know that you're moving through it. Exhale, round. Feel this as allegory to emotionality. We feel tight in the heart, and the only way to get over it is to move through it. So experience the tightness. And then feel like you were rinsing yourself with your breath. One more. Exhale, round. Sweep your arms up high. Come up to kneeling again. Take your hands in prayer at your heart. Lift your heart up high. Stay still. And make space in your mind and your heart by just dropping your thoughts as you exhale. Just being in this kneeling, praying position. And then realize what we're about to do is a prayer. It's a sacrifice of the self through the heat of the energy and the shapes that you're about to make. Why are you sacrificing yourself? What do you want? Get clear about it. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release your hands by your sides. Slowly sit back down on your heels and then tense your fingers behind your feet. Leave your butt and your heels connected and then just lift your heart. Now kind of shimmy back and forth, right to left. Just feel your back body waking up. Feel one shoulder blade moving to one side and then the other to the other. Keep your belly in a little bit. And then find center, find stillness. Now start to squeeze all of your musculature in towards your spine and slowly start to tuck your tail, lift your butt, and then send your low back, mid back, upper back up towards the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, sit, stick out your tongue. Come forward to all fours, arch your back, and then exhale, round your back. Find two more nice and slow like this, and then feel into the details of the shoulders. Feel the ball and socket plugging in from the arm to the shoulder girdle. And then find that nice rotation there. Find one more. Exhale, rounds you out. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. You can pedal out your legs to begin. And then see if you can release any attachment to pain. So if you're somebody who goes into pain really easily, see if you can instead search for a sensation and then explore that to the point of pain. So flirt with pain, but don't live in it, yeah? Because the discomfort is where the growth is. Find one more big breath, just exploring your hips, taking it nice and easy. And then come forward to a plank pose. Lower down to your knees, stick out your butt, pull in your gut, and then bend your elbows backwards, lowering to your chest, and then your chin. And then you'll slide up and forward, pressing into the ground, dragging your mat backwards for a cobra. And then lower down to your forehead as you exhale. Now tense your fingers outside of the mat. Point your elbows up, and then lift up again, reaching your toes and your tail backwards. As you exhale, drop your right ear and your right shoulder down to the mat. And then come back up towards center. Switch sides. And then back up towards center. One more time on each side to the right. Inhale, crack the heart open. Exhale, left side. Feel like the tightness in your chest is grief and you have to move through it. And then super slowly roll down, bending the elbows. Cool. Now from here, take your right elbow where your right hand just was. So you're scooting the forearm forward. Then lay your right ear down and step your left foot behind your right leg so it gets firm on the ground. Maybe it's tiptoed. Now get really firm through your right arm. Press it into the earth pretty vigorously. And then think about rolling your right shoulder head to your left hip. Your right shoulder blade sinks into the earth. Breathe into that deeply. Keep that. Send your pelvis forward towards the left side of your mat a little bit more. And then breathe all the way from the pelvis to the head. Find one more big breath here. And then roll back onto your belly. Tense your right fingers where your right elbow was, and then lift up again. Modified cobra. Roll down to your forehead, and then you'll take your left elbow where your left hand was. Lay your left ear down, and then step your right leg behind your left leg. Nice. Okay, now ground into the left arm. Think about the left shoulder head going to the right hip. Left shoulder blade sinking into the earth. As you exhale, send the pelvis forward to the right side of your mat just a little bit more. Get firmer through your left leg and see your body as a whole. Breathe into it. Feel like you're giving a really nice hug to the earth. Last big breath. Drawing on her for some love, because the earth definitely loves you. She lets you stay here for free. Slowly roll back to your belly. Tense your left fingers. Lift your heart up in thanksgiving for the earth that gives you everything you need to be alive. And then roll down. Take your hands next to your ribs and then press back to a child's pose. Rest your forehead on the earth. Take one big breath here into the chest, the armpits, the upper back. And then get really heavy. Just drop your thoughts. Again, empty out. It's a way to curate peace, to step away from yourself so you can get a little bit more objective. So you can come back with fresh eyes, able to find the love easily. Come forward to all fours, arch your back. Tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Bend the knees a little bit, reach the butt bones up and back. Now think about your low back getting really, really long. Press into the knuckles of your hands, the space right next to the nail, the space in between the finger, and the space at the base of the palm. 3 knuckles on each finger. Feel all of them. Find one more big breath. Remember that hands are extensors of the heart, And they can convey the energy of love with touching or caressing, or they can convey the opposite of the sensation of love, violence. Choose love into the earth and receive it back. One more big breath. Come forward to a plank pose. Find a big inhale. Lower to your knees, and then bend your elbows straight back. Lower halfway. And then straighten your arms. Now lower halfway again. Straighten your arms and squeeze your chest muscles together and your knuckles into the earth, so much so that your back rounds. Now lower down, bending the elbows backwards, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then straighten the arms, squeeze the chest muscles together. Now close your eyes, go for a couple more rounds, squeezing the back of your heart, the place where you love yourself. And then squeezing the front of the heart, the place from which you love other people. 2 more. Lower. And lift. Love yourself, which will allow you to love others better. Okay, now lower halfway again, and then stay. And then while you stay, choose something very specific that you love about yourself. And then slide through to a cobra, big inhale. Press back to a child's pose. And then observe what came into your mind's eye. Or did nothing come into your mind's eye? If that's the case, know that that's okay too. Find it now though. Be earnest. And then carry that love with you as we continue to move. Come forward to all fours, arch the back, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high, find a big inhale. Keep your left leg sturdy, bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left. See if you can get the breath all the way down to the low trunk. Ground the left heel, move the left thigh back. One more big breath here. And then bring your knee in towards your nose, round your back, squeezing your chest. Try and step your right foot next to your right thumb without lifting your hands. And then drop your left knee. Sweep your arms high, big inhale. Cactus your arms, squeeze the sides, and then lean back. Stay here, take a big inhale. And then take your hands to the ground and straighten your right leg, fold. Now halfway lift, look forward, you can pull your elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then fold back down. Crawl forward, tuck your left toes, pick up your left knee. Step to the top of the mat and fold. Take your hands behind your head. Wing your elbows towards the front of the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Give more weight to the front of the feet. And then halfway lift. Make your chest parallel to the ground. And then fold back down, hug your elbows in. Lift back up, wing the elbows out. Hug in as you exhale. Work the chest like when we were doing those knee push-ups. One more. Back of the heart, front of the heart. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms to the sky and then lean back like you're hugging the universe. And then hug yourself. Stay here. Take a big breath in. Feel what it feels like to hug yourself like you would hug a lover. And then just release all the thoughts. Remember that emptiness is a profound peace practice. Take one more breath and just listen. And release. Sweep your arms high, dig your feet into the earth. Forward fold. Right leg steps back, big inhale. Down dog, exhale. Forward plank pose. Super acceptance of whatever's happening right now. Lower to your knees, lower halfway. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Straighten your arms, squeeze your chest. 2 more. Working the love for yourself so you can love other people better. 1 more. And straighten. Good, and then you'll slide through to a cobra. Open the heart, crack it open, release the kraken. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Ground the right heel, move the right thigh backwards. Make sure you're still getting some breath and some space in your heart. One more big breath here, breathing from pelvis to skull. As you exhale, bring your knee into your nose, dome your back, squeeze your chest. Try and step your left foot next to your left hand without picking up the knee. Drop the right knee and then sweep your arms high. Flex your sides, cactus. Lean backwards, big inhale. And then hands to the earth, straighten your left leg, fold. Halfway lift, pull the elbows up towards the sky. Fold back down. Crawl forward, tuck the right toes, pick up the right knee. Step to the top and fold. Take your hands behind your head, halfway lift, elbows to the sky. Squeeze your chest as you fold back down. More weight to the front of the feet. Lift up again. How are you being to yourself internally right now? Fold. Get softer, last one. Get more loving, but more powerful in the body. Power as an act of self-love. Reach all the way up. Hug yourself again, opposite arm on top, and then stay still. Absorb the love from you to you. And then release it. Sweep your arms high, gathering some energy from the earth, from the cosmos. And then fold, honoring this earth. Left leg steps back. And then down dog. When you honor the earth, you honor yourself, because you and it are not separate. Plank. Maybe no knees this time. Chaturanga. Upward facing, thighs are high. Downward facing dog. All right, right leg high. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Stay for a breath, lift a little higher. Right foot, right thumb, left knee down, arms high. Big inhale. Cactus, exhale. Lean a little further back, tilt the elbows. Hands to the earth, fold. Pull the elbows up, halfway lift. Fold back down as you exhale. Crawl forward, tuck the left toes, pick up the left knee, and then reach the arms up high this time. Cactus the arms, bend your left knee deep, and then take your hands behind your head. Squeeze your hips together for stability, and then wing your elbows backwards to straighten your left leg without lifting the hips much. Big old back bend. Stay here. Exhale. Reach your arms backwards. Pull your belly in. One more big breath. Open your heart. Step to the top. Fold. Halfway lift. Big inhale. Flutter your lips. Fold. Just release your head. Stay here for a breath. Sigh audibly out of your mouth. Right leg steps back. Down dog. Vinyasa, plank pose. Lower halfway. Upward facing, belly is in, thighs are high. Down dog. Keep up the vigor. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Stay, make more space. And then step your left foot next to your left thumb. Right knee down, arms high. Cactus. Lean a little further back. Hands to the earth, left leg straight. Halfway lift, wide open heart, strong shoulders. Fold back down. Crawl forward, tuck the right toes, pick up the right knee and the arms. Cactus. Hands behind the back of the head. Stay, stabilize the hips. Start to lean back as you straighten through the right knee. Stay, pull the belly in more. Reach the arms back. Give it up. Let go, let God. Or let go, let Google. Step your right foot forward, fold. Halfway lift, big inhale. Flutter your lips, fold and stay. Take 3 breaths here. Notice the way you're communicating to yourself as you move through. If it's good, great, keep it. If it's not, notice. Switch. Just keep returning to the love. One more really slow, lovely breath. Left leg steps back. Downward facing dog.
Come forward to a plank pose. Big inhale.
Drop your heels over to the left. Sweep your right arm backwards, right arm high, and then right arm forward. Breathe from your right foot to your right wrist. Squeeze the hips a little higher. Find one more big breath. Take your right hand down. Come back to plank. Stay. Inhale. Look forward. Lower halfway. Straighten your arms. Heels to the right. Left arm back. Up and then forward. Reach apart. Left wrist to left ankle. Find one more big breath. And then take your left hand down. Come back to plank, lower halfway. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg high. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Lift a little higher. Right foot, right thumb. Keep your left knee up as you reach your arms high. Bend the elbows in the left knee. Hands behind the head, lean back, straighten the left leg. Stay there, reach the arms back. Stay for an inhale. And then sweep your left arm and your left heel down. Reach out to warrior two. You can heel toe your right foot towards the left and sink in. Now take your hands behind your back like camel. And then squeeze the elbows together, the shoulders wide. Think about the tail going down. And then think about your bottom back ribs lifting up and forward. Find the back bend here. Now breathe into your pelvis and your chest. One more big breath. Straighten the spine, straighten the right leg, and then slide the right hand down to the shin, ankle, or earth, left arm up high. Good. Now find a little bit of enlightenment in your heart. What the heck does that mean? That means be lighthearted. So if it's like really tough, laugh it off. If it's really easy, giggle your way through. Just keep the lightness or levity alive because it's akin to love. One more big breath. Bend into the right knee. Take your left hand down and then spin to the pinky toe edge of your left foot and then stack up to a side plank. Take your right hand behind your head. Press your skull into your hand. Lean your right elbow back as your right hip goes forward. Breathe. And then softly step your right foot behind your left hamstring and then open your chest towards the sky. You can release the right arm. Breathe. Find one more big one here. With grace, flip back over. Leave your right leg high as you come forward to plank. Lower halfway. And then crack that heart open again. Downward facing dog. Cracks in the heart open so the light can get through. Right, Rumi? Lift your left leg. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Lift a little higher. Left foot, left thumb. Right knee stays up, arms high. Cactus the arms, bend the right knee. Hand behind the head, lean back, straighten your right leg. Pull the belly in, straighten the arms. One more breath here. Seal the right heel down, drop your right arm back, and then wander your left foot towards the right, warrior two. Take both of your hands to your low back. Hug the elbows in, tail down, pubis up, and then pull your ribs in a little so your chest lifts higher. And then if you feel balanced, close your eyes, and then think about breathing into the entirety of the chest. So not only the pectoral muscles, but the front of the armpits, the divots of the armpits, the back of the armpits, the shoulder blades, the traps. Give it some life. Give it some light. One more big breath. Sink that butt. And then straighten your left leg. Slide your left arm down to your left shin. Right arm goes high, Trikonasana triangle. Keep it light. Make sure your feet are perpendicular. Left toes pointing forward, right toes towards the right. Lift the inner arches of both feet so much so that you can feel the energy travel from the sole of the foot to the inner groin line. Find one more big breath. Left shoulder blade rotates to right chest. Nice. Bend into your left knee. Right hand down. Right heel spins to the right. Left foot stacks on top. Side plank. Left hand comes behind the head, and then you'll start to lean back, pressing the skull into the hand with vigor. Keep a little bend in the right elbow so you can stay buoyant through your right joints. And then start to pick up the left leg, step it behind the right hamstring, and then make sure your neck stays long in this back bend. Now breathe into that heart, 360 again. Think about pulling in love as you inhale, and then exhaling drama, grief, bullshit, unnecessary things that accumulate on our heart that we don't need to carry. Last breath. Or maybe you release your left arm. And then flip over, left leg stays high. Plank pose. Lower half leg, chaturanga. Upward face. Downward face. Right leg high. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Tense your right fingers. Turn your left heel to the left, and then slowly see if you can hover right hand and right foot as you flip your dog. Alight softly. Open the heart, big old inhale. Try not to use your right hand. Step your right foot to the top, hands to the low back, warrior two. And then take a big inhale for your back bend. Straighten your right leg, slide down to the shin. Left arm up high, big one. Okay, now the heart needs some support. And what supports the heart? The belly. So think about both sides and then reach both arms forward. Breathe. Feel the belly supported by the strength of the hips and the legs. One more big breath here. Bend into the right knee. Crawl your hands between your legs. Left toes turn to the left. Left knee bends. Right toes go up. Take your left tricep and your left inner knee together, and then right hand behind the head. You can always bend the right knee a little if you need to. Now lean back, open the heart. Breathe, 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 breathe. One more big breath here. Woo, yeah. And then from here, you'll come forward again. You crawl using your hands. And then right hand forward, left limbs up for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. If you've got a wall in front of your head like me, use it. Breathe. See, levity, lightheartedness. Lightheartedness is enlightenment. I'll say that till the day I die. One more big breath. Bend your right knee, left hand down, left knee couples behind the right. Curtsy lunge, sweeping the arms back. Now softly shift your weight to your right leg. Pick up your left foot to your right inner groin. Tree pose. Now check this out. Think about bringing a lot more weight to the front of the right foot, sending your pelvis forward. Keep that, and then send your left knee back a little bit more. And then think about breathing down to the bottom of the belly. Really firm the entire right leg hard and deep into the earth. And then of course, lift your heart. Find one more big breath here. Softly cross your left ankle over your right, and then fold over crossed legs. Halfway lift, big inhale. Flutter your lips, fold. Crawl your arms over towards the right, and then reach your left butt back. And then switch sides. Crawl your hands towards the left, and then reach your right butt towards the back of the mat. One more big breath here. Crawl back towards center. Firm your hands into the earth. Slide your right leg to the back right corner of the mat. Plant your hands and then just pick up your left heel towards your glute. Cool, now keep your left leg like this. You're gonna shift your hips up and back and bend your right knee. Now come back from whence you came. Now do it again. Maybe you send your left leg high after you bend your right knee and then kick up, giving it a handstand hop. And then you can take a child's pose. Don't worry, we'll get to do it again. Meet you in child's pose. Rest your head, rest your heart. And just stop thinking. Just let it go. Space making is a huge part of loving well. One more big breath. Lovely. Come forward to all fours, arch your back. Tuck your toes, hips up and back, down dog. The left leg lifts. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Slowly turn your right heel to the right, tense your left fingers, and then see if you can get some air time floating with your left hand and your left foot. And then super gracefully alight your left foot down to your rock star shape. Breathe. Press into all of the knuckles in the right hand. Find one more big breath. Okay, maybe you don't use your left hand at all. You step your left foot to the top of the mat, seal your right heel down, and then take your hands to your low back, sinking in. Now think camel and warrior two. Lean back. Straighten your left leg as you exhale. Straighten your spine. Slide down. Triangle pose. Soften your brow. Take a deep breath. Turn your heart up. And then remember, love is action. Love is work, like I said at the beginning. And the part of the body that corresponds to work, belly. So find your belly. And not just the front, but the sides and the low back. And then reach your right arm forward. Turn on the juice in the belly. Reach your left arm forward. Hello, Dolly. So nice to have you back where you belong. In your power. Breathe. Rotate left shoulder blade to right chest. Heart up, heart up. Pick up your heart. Enlighten yourself. One more big breath. Hands down to the earth. Crawl to the back of your mat. Right toes to the right, left toes to the ceiling, right knee bends. Nice. Right tricep to the right inner knee. Right arm reaches out, and then left arm up. Again, if it feels like it's too much on your left leg, just bend the knee a little bit. Yeah. Breathe. Keep it light, even though it might feel heavy. Play the opposite. One more big breath. With care, with a little lift, crawl back to the front. Take your left hand down, your right limbs up, and then extend through those sides. Ardha Chandrasana. Imagine you have a little wall behind your right leg that you can press into. And then just imagine your body getting a little lighter, even when you fall, if you fall. Super slowly, hands down, bend the left knee. Right knee goes behind the left knee, right foot off the mat. Sweep the arms backwards, sink. Slowly, weight to the left leg. You'll drag your right foot up to your left inner groin. Take your hands in prayer. Now it's easy to take it easy in tree. See if you can play the opposite. Weight forward to the front of the left foot, pelvis forward, right knee backwards. And then let that sensation in the low trunk live. Dig your left leg in its entirety into the earth, and then get your breath into the low belly, the front of the pelvis. Find one more big breath here. Heart high. Cross your right ankle over your left, and then fold. Crawl over to the left, squeezing the thighs together. Right butt back. Crawl over to the right, left butt back. Stay for an extra breath here. Imagine the space between the left butt and the left rib getting longer. And then come back to center. Plant the hands, left foot to the back left corner of the mat. Right heel to the glute, pick up the belly. Okay, now go for some hops. Send the hips up and back, bend the left knee, straighten the right. And then see what it's like to play in the air. The element of love. If you've got a wall, use it. We'll be here for about 6 or 7 more breaths. Woo, I'm on a slant. This feels cool. If you want any other variations, you're more than welcome to take them. Especially if you've got a weird wall. Child's pose is always a good move. We love a child's pose. One more big breath wherever you happen to be. And then we'll all meet in child's pose. Now take that psychic reset again. Practice curating peace. Practice creating a benevolent spaciousness in your mind's eye. It can come in real handy when things get dicey in the air quotes real world. Last breath. Come forward to all fours. Arch the back, tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Right leg high right away. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Flip your dog a little bit faster this time. Big inhale. Now step your right foot where your right hand was. Reach your arms up high. And then reach your right arm back, your left arm forward. Nice. Now take your right hand to your left hamstring and then spiral the left pinky finger in towards your face as you lean back and twist to the right. Feel the belly, feel the heart. Sink a little deeper into your right knee, pick up your left thigh higher. Last big breath here. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot, scoot your left foot forward, sealing the heel down, straighten both legs and fold. Now feel this as a draining, as a releasing. Let your right hamstring really get soft. And let your breath travel all the way down to where you feel sensation in that right hamstring. Find one more big breath here. Take your left hand to your right ankle. Take your right hand to your low back. Think about getting really even through the back of the pelvis. So use your hand as a sensor. Is your left butt lower? Is your right butt lower? Can you even them out? Once they feel even, lock that in, and then rotate your left shoulder blade into your right chest so your heart faces the right wall. And then reach your right arm up high. Breathe. Breathe into the twist. Yeah, turn on the juice a little bit more. It's okay if your belly hangs out. Mine is. See me and all my imperfections. I'm choosing to love myself. It's hard, but it's fucking worth it. Sorry, I can edit that. Right hand behind the head. Wing your right elbow behind your skull. Press your skull into your hand. Breathe, 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 breathe. Find one more big breath. Both hands down. Bend your right knee. Step to the top. Fold. Bend both of your knees. And then you're going to slide your right foot behind your left all the way off the mat. Stand on the pinky toe edge only. And then grab your right wrist with your left hand, stand up, and side bend to the left. Now just like tree, press your pelvis forward, but pull your belly in and your heart up. And then breathe into all that. One more big breath. Slowly release your hands, drag your right foot next to your left, and then just stand there. Bask in the warmth of the fire that you built within yourself. And then reach your arms high. Fold. Halfway lift. If you want it, crow pose. You can flatten your hands, take your knees to your armpits, pull your heels up to your glutes and belly in. If you're not into that, Malasana, yoga squat right here. 3 breaths in either one. Try and keep your heels down and your heart up. And then you'll take a vinyasa. It's your last one, so enjoy it. It's getting hot up here. Wow, love is work. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Slowly flip your dog. Big inhale. Step your left foot where your left hand just was. Reach your arms high. Left arm back, right arm forward. Stabilize. Left hand to the right hamstring. Right pinky in towards the face. Twist and lean back. Maybe you sink a little deeper into your left hip crease. You lift your right thigh a little higher. Last big breath here. Belly in, heart high. Frame your left foot, hands to the earth. Straighten both legs. Scoot your right foot forward. Turn your right toes to the right slightly so your right heel can come down. And then release your head. Or as one of my favorite teachers likes to say, take your head off. Dana Trixie Flynn, Laughing Lotus. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Shake your head, I don't know. Yeah. Last big breath. Practice that surrender. Paying attention to where it, air quotes, hurts. Okay, and then from here, you'll take your right hand to your left ankle. Left hand to the sacrum. Use your sense of touch. Which butt's higher than the other? Even them out, and then pick up your belly away from the ground. Without moving the hips, start to rotate the belly and the chest to the left. Breathe into it, and then reach your left arm up high. Try not to let your right thigh sink down to the earth. Think forward more than down. And then take your left hand behind your skull. Wing your left elbow to the right side of your mat. And then turn, turn, turn. Start a revolution within yourself. Quite physically. One more big breath here. Oh yeah, release that left arm. And fold. Bend into the left knee. And then step to the top. Slide your left foot off the right side of the mat. Stand on the pinky toe edge. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand. Stand up. Lean to the right. Pelvis forward. Belly in. Heart up. Shoulders down. Neck long. Face soft like you are in love with yourself in the least conceited way possible. One more big breath. Sink a little lower into the right knee and with the left hip, lean a little further to the right. Release your hands, drag your left foot next to your right. And then stay still. Find 3 breaths in absolute stillness. Back. Squeeze your inner thighs together hard. Start to lift your heart up and forward. Elbows together, shoulder heads apart. 3 massive breaths, widening the collarbones and taking up more space on all 4 corners of the heart. Go for it. Don't be afraid to squeeze into the heart as you exhale. 2 more volume. More compression. Play with the opposites, last breath. Wide, large, expansive. Narrow, strong, sturdy. Reach your arms up high. Hands in prayer, drag your thumb knuckles over your third eye, your nose, your lips, your chin, right into your heart. And then lay both hands on your heart. Tell yourself that you love yourself and try and really mean it. And then release grief as you exhale. Arms up high. Forward fold. Halfway lift. You could crow through vinyasa, you could malasana, you could step back and take a child's pose. We'll all meet in child's pose in 3 breaths. Do what you think is right for you. Okay, and then from here, I want you to sit up on your heels again, tuck your toes. All 10 of them are on the ground. And then sit all the way up and take your elbows behind your back again, hands in the elbows. And then press your belly into your elbows and then just think about being straight up and down. So you're not leaning back or forward here, you're straight up and down. And then watch me as I show you what's next. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. Just make sure there's about 2 fist distance in between your knees. Micah, go just a little bit wider. Okay, so check this out. Let yourself get a toe stretch and a heart opening as you watch. So I'm gonna grab my heels with my hands. The palm and the heel match like a ball and glove. I'm gonna sink my pelvis back and then fold into a child's pose. Then from here, I'm gonna start by tucking my tail, then lifting my heart, and then sending the tail forward, keeping my hands and my heels connected, and then lifting my chest as high as I can, and trying not to kink my neck. I'm trying to keep the back of the neck long as well so I feel spacious. And then I'll lead with the tail, send it back so you fold into your hips well, and then you can fold over yourself back into a child's pose. I want to do that 5 times with you guys. If you're like, whoa, that's way too much for me, you can always just come up to kneeling, take your hands to your low back, and then go back down to a child's pose with your hands on your heels or in front of you. It's no big deal. Here we go. Should have about 4 more left. I'll do them with you. Lifting your heart, making space in the back of the neck. Feeling into the fold of your pelvis and your hip flexors as you come back down. Lifting back up again, taking up space laterally, right and left shoulder head wide and away from one another. And then sinking back in, pulling the belly in so you got a little more space to fold. 2 more. Get into the emotionality of it. You're increasing your capacity to love, and you're decreasing your capacity to hold on to bullshit. 1 more, remembering that our bodies and our minds are not separate. Sink into a child's pose. Untuck your toes if they're still tucked. Reach your arms forward and then rest. Empty yourself out. Practice peace. And then slowly come forward to your forearms and your knees. And then from here, keep your hips right above your knees, keep your toes grounded into the earth, and then start to walk your hands forward into a puppy dog pose. So reach your arms as far as you can, but also reach your tail up and back, and then maybe you rest your forehead on the earth, or maybe you rest your chin on the earth. Now try and externally rotate your shoulders. What that means is your elbows, the bony parts, point down, and then the bendy part, or the inside of the elbow, goes up towards the sky. Can you really start to try and rotate through there as you find the length between your chin and your tail? Let your heart be wide. Let your belly be lifted. Let your feet be heavy. And then experience this length. This openness. 1 more big breath, receiving the love from the earth, from the thing that holds you, our collective mother. And then hug your shoulders in towards one another, squeeze your chest, and then start to walk your hands back. And then find all 4s. You bend the elbows, you can shimmy a little bit. A little shimmy goes a long way for the heart chakra. Okay, now reach your right arm forward alongside your ear, and then reach your left leg backwards. Left heel is about hip height. And then just hang out here. Think about a wide open chest in this shape. Bend the left elbow just a little bit, and then look forward so you can feel that peel of the heart. Pull the belly in. Find 1 more big breath here. Put your left knee down, weave your right arm underneath your left armpit, lay on your right ear, and then wrap your left arm behind your back, grabbing your right thigh. And then think about stacking your left shoulder on top of your right, letting your neck be long. And then fall in love with the ways in which your body can move. Not only physically, but the way it can move energy. Because we all know that feelings don't last forever. They might feel like they do, but truly they're always fluctuating. So you gotta learn how to surf well, the waves. And what's your surfboard? Acceptance, love, grace. All caused by the breath. And your intention, of course. Last breath here. Release your left hand. Press it into the earth and then swing your right arm up towards the sky. Take your right hand down, cat pose, round your back. Cow pose, arch your back. Neutral spine, right in the middle. Left arm reaches forward alongside the ear. Right leg reaches back. Pick up your belly towards the sky and then look forward. Yeah, look where you're going. You don't want to look down and be downtrodden. You don't want to look back and be in the past. You want to look towards the future. And how do you build your future? Stay in the present moment. More belly. More strength in your right leg. Find one more big breath here. Get sturdy. Right knee down, left arm weaves underneath. Lay on your left temple, and then wrap your right arm behind your back, grabbing your left thigh. Keep the hips even. And then rotate left shoulder blade into right chest. And this is not the most graceful shape, but see if you can find the grace in it. 2 more big breaths. Completing the revolution of the heart. Turning back towards love. Last breath. Soak it in. And then release your right arm. Plant your right hand into the earth. Sweep your left arm up high. Cat pose, rounds ya. Cow pose, arcs ya. Cross your ankles, sit behind yourself. If you can't do that, just swing your legs around. Send your legs forward. And then take your right foot into your left inner groin. Now notice, did your right hip kind of wing back? Can you send it forward so the hips are even, as if you were just sitting with your legs forward? And then frame up your left leg, crawl your fingers forward, and melt your heart towards your thigh. Now find your breath. And then look forward towards your left foot with the heart. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit more. And then from there, fold a little deeper. Keep sending the right hip forward, but squeeze the right glute so you can feel the right knee come a little closer to the earth through those external rotators. And then feel the symbolism of this pose. Bow down to the magnificent sensation that is love. Honor it. Take a little mental vacation and go to a place where you're recognizing all the people that you receive the sensation of love from. List them. Thank God for them, whatever you believe God to be. And then let them take you a little bit further into this shape for your last breath. And then slowly roll up. Plant your right hand outside your right hip. Roll onto your right shin, your left foot, and then open your heart again. Thank you, those people. I would not know how to love well without you. You are a blessing in my life. You know who you are. Sit back down. Switch sides. Right leg straight forward. Left foot to the right inner groin. Walk your hands forward, but look forward with your heart. Flex your right foot, right pinky toe to the right ear, left toe away from the right ear. And then pulse forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the heart open as you fold. Maybe your forearms come to the ground. Maybe your hands come around your foot. Doesn't really matter. Think about your left hip going forward. Think about squeezing your left glutes to externally rotate the left leg. And then feel into the surrender, the acceptance, the benevolent spaciousness. So there's room for the things that don't feel like they're going your way. Because you got to take life on life's terms, not on your own. Only control you got is of you. If you keep redirecting towards love, you're going to feel a little bit more lovely. Now, instead of thanking those people for giving you love, on this side, thank yourself for being able to receive the love from them. Because nobody can ever really give you love. They can just draw it out of you because it's already in you. So thank yourself for being open to getting it, and to accessing our most palpable power. Find one more deep breath in solemn reverence for yourself.
And then slowly roll up. Plant your left hand outside your left hip.
Roll onto your left shin and your right foot. And then one last time, show your heart. Don't hide it away. We need it. One more big breath. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the front. Slowly sit down. Send your left leg forward.
And then think about keeping your heart wide open as you tuck the tail and then slowly roll all the way back onto your back with an open heart. And then once you're all the way down to your skull, release your feet out, let your palms face up, and then give it all up. Lean into the temporary nature of reality and see if you can allow yourself to experience an ego death. Don't worry, it'll come back. But for now, see if you can step away from the ego, which is your physical body and your thoughts. Go to the part of you that's not physical or mental. The mysterious part of yourself, the air quotes spiritual part of yourself. And feel your union with everyone and everything, or your yoga. And allow yourself to just be absorbed by it all, held by the universe with deep care. Stay there. I'll tell you when it's time to come out. Shavasana.
eyes closed. Take the most gentle breath you could possibly muster, but also make it the fullest that you could possibly muster. When you think you're full, sip in just a centimeter more. And softly, with control, let it go out of your mouth, just as slow. Again, another really tender breath, honoring the physical element of air, oxygen, the thing that keeps you tethered to your precious life moment to moment. Use your imagination. Just pretend that breathing in was receiving love. Because in a sense it is. The earth is allowing you to be alive. It's granting you this gift of the experience of life with its ups and downs. And then as you exhale, play the opposite. Give some love out to whoever needs it the most. It could be you. You could just recycle it right into yourself. Feel that love all around you as you start to move your fingers and your toes and come back into your magnificent vessel. You can reach your arms overhead, your legs long. Then roll to a fetal pose on one side or the other. Take one full breath in that fetal pose and then commit to being reborn into the practice of looking for love in all situations, of recognizing it, of discerning it and distilling it, even when it feels sparse. And carry that ability to find the love up with you as you come up to a seat. Take your left hand on your heart, take your right hand on the earth next to you. And then just really gently start tapping both the ground and your heart with the open palm. Breathe just as slowly as you were before, but feel into the sensations of the earth and the heart. Get a little bit more vigorous about it. Feel this is a symbol of grounding yourself in love. Take that stability from the right hand, place it on top of the left, keep tapping. Don't hurt yourself, just love yourself. Activate the heart. Now feel the circuit of love recycling back into you and clap. Harder. Higher. Over your head. 3, 2, 1, release your hand, sparkly rainbow, back into prayer. Take a big old breath into your heart. And then remember that love and joy are real, and they're yours to have if you set your attention on them. Bow to each other. Thank each other for being able to draw out the sense of love and joy from one another. And know that we're not separate. Namaste. Thank you for playing along. Thanks for your joy, your openness, your love. Take it with you. Do this anytime you need. Maybe just clap.